friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada. Welcome to January 2024 and our very first Friday free class of the year. We are cleaning up a little bit in the craft room, getting ready for the new year. And I actually raided my recycling bin for some plastic packaging for this technique. I have the Metallic Enamel Effects Basics, silver, gold, and copper. We are going to be doing a background technique with these guys. So I've just got a piece of cardstock packaging and a piece of plastic from one of the 12 by 12 packages that I'll be using. You could use saran wrap, but this was laying around and I decided that I was going to reuse it. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to be doing it on a darker color. This is Early Espresso and Basic White, just to see what the colors look like. I actually haven't used these yet, but in my head, this technique is going to be amazing. So if you try it, I would love to see it. Pop over to my Facebook page and show me. I've also over on Facebook been doing a daily, and I will be continuing it through the month, craft room cleanup tips. So if you have any tips or ideas or anything that you like to do, I'm just going to squeeze some of, which color are we starting with? Copper on here. If you have any tips or ideas that you particularly love doing, I would absolutely love to see you share over there. We are on day 5, I think. So yeah, I have a piece of paper underneath just to catch any overage. So we're just going to start, just kind of smoosh it around a bit. And you're probably going to get it on your fingers, but we'll just keep working. It's kind of like the wallpaper smooshing technique from the, like, what was it, 80s? Just kind of move it around, get some texture worked up in there. A little bit higher in some places, a little bit less in others, because we are going to be building color. I think I was a little generous with this. Now, the Enamel Effects dries really, really quickly the thinner you apply it. So you will want to kind of move a little fast with this. I will be playing with this quite a bit because I think this is going to be a fun product to play. I have the other colors as well. The other package has red, white, and black, or gray. All right, so we'll wrap up the silver. Now, because it is a wet product, you can see that the paper is kind of buckling a little bit, but it's okay because we will grab our heat tool and give it a bit of a blast to dry. I'm actually going to try, instead of putting a big blob, I'm just going to kind of smush it around a little bit more this way. And now we're going to apply the silver. This is washable, so if you get it on your fingers, don't be too worried. Oh, I like the silver. It's very subtle. It's a little cloudy here today, so we're not going to be able to see, I don't think we're going to be able to see as much shimmer and shine. But in real life, this looks gorgeous. And the good thing about doing a technique like this is you can play and move as much as you want and apply as much color with as much depth as you want. Actually, if I was going to do this again, I would probably do an entire 8.5 by 11 sheet, or even 12 by 12. All right, and last we're going to do the gold, and I'm just going to kind of go, whoops, over top of where I had the other. The gold is very subtle. I like it. Our first messy crafting project of 2023. 2024. Oops. Well, It's only January. I can still mess up the date a few times, and I probably will. Okay. Kind of liking how the layering of this is going, and I like the color combo. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one off to the side. I love how it's showing up on the dark. I'm going to move our white here. The white looks a little bit more stark, so I think I'm going to build up the color just a little bit more. Oh, and of course the dog is making a cameo because why not? Okay. And for the, oops, there we go. For my stamp set, I'm using Biggest Wish, and I'm also using one of my current favorite items, which is the hexagon punch. Okay, now we're going to bring in our heat tool and just give this a little bit of a blast. Just to make sure that it's good and dry before we go ahead and finish our card. And you can see as it dries, it does start to flatten out. You can also let it air dry and then come back to it. Okay. This one off to the side, and then we'll dry. That one's dry. Really quick with the heat tool to give it a bit of a dry, and then we are going to pull in our stamp set. The stamps that we're using. I'm doing Hello and Thanks. Grab our block, and I think I was gonna do black, but let me see what else I have around. I think I'll do Pretty Peacock. I think that'll go nicely with both of them. And for Hello, I'm going to do in Basic White for our card that we did in Basic White. And then I'm going to do, I think Very Vanilla for the other one. So we'll just do Hello. I did not stamp that very cleanly now, did I? But it turned out okay. Punch. So feed the punch in kind of centered-ish, and then just to check placement before I punch, I like to give it just a bit of a push down so that it doesn't move. And then punch, and we're done. And we're going to grab a scrap piece of Very Vanilla, and we're going to do our thanks. And I will be washing these when I'm done the video. And we'll do Pretty Peacock again. A little bit lighter touch for that ink cup. And we'll do straight down, straight up. And then again, stamp that a little low, so it's going to look low, but I'll fix that and add the bling a little higher up on the card. Okay, So then we'll do, this needs something. What does this need? Not sure. You know what, we'll just do bling on that and it'll be fine. Now, if your card isn't completely dry, you might need to have a little bit of extra adhesive to make sure that it sticks down. And one of my tips too for anything that I've done a wet application or added heat, so something like this or heat embossing, watercolor, anything like that, is once you have it done and assembled, you can put something heavy on top of it to kind of flatten it. And I also like, as just a little bit of added insurance, just to have a little bit of extra adhesive onto my finished project. I usually do just 2 strips, but because this has had liquid added, I'm going to do 3 across the long way and then top and bottom as well, just to give it that little bit of extra security that it's actually going to lay flat. And of course we have a dimensional background or backer popping in. So I'm going to put that one off to the side until we are ready. I'm just going to reach and grab a sheet of Very Vanilla. It is our last weekday of Christmas break, so we're kind of taking it a bit chill this week. Looking forward to the return to routine though. All right, so we've got our card already done. I'm gonna grab our early espresso. I love early espresso. And I also really like using Very Vanilla. I don't use it as much as I should though. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pop this guy down. This one, I think I'm actually gonna do a band across. I want to do a, nah. Welcome to my craft room where decisions are usually last minute. All right. And I'm not going to break out my trimmer. I'm just going to scissor cut. And then we're going to put, actually we're going to pop this guy up on dimensionals. I don't use a ton of dimensionals, usually just on corners and maybe the middle. And I really like the minis too. Oops. We'll just do our thanks right in the middle. All right, so we've got both of our cards done. Now we're going to bling it up. These are the Blooming Pearls. I've got a sticky situation here by the looks of things. There we go. Whoops. Right off the packaging. I think I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to do in the center and then 2 small ones. Oops. On each side. I usually use my Take Your Pick tool, but it has migrated somewhere. Probably off somewhere enjoying a nice summery vacation somewhere warm. Okay, I don't like where that one's placed. Move it over. There we go. That's better. All right, so there's our first card. You can see the really nice shimmer and shine that the enamel effects gives. And then we're going to bling up our second one. And I think for this one, I'm just going to do edges. And then we'll do a couple of the gold, kind of just random. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then one more kind of, oops, there-ish. So yeah, there is our card completely finished. We've got on light and dark, so you can see how the colors, even though it's the same color, it looks kind of different on both. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next month for First Friday Free. Have a great day.